Hickle, let's go to the hotline. Let's go to Tom Green County, home of the Wall Hawks. Talk to the head coach of the regional final bound Wall Hawks, Coach Craig Slaughter. Join us. Coach, how are you? Coach, you got me? Oh, no, cell coverage. Coach, you got me?
Hey, yeah, how you doing, man?
There it is. Gotcha. How are things out there in Tom Green County?
Hey, good as ever. Good as ever. Practicing in December, so that's good as it gets.
I want to talk a little bit about the kind of revolution that you've overseen there at Wall. Obviously, taking over for Houston Guy, a guy who has been a decorated coach in his own right. You came in and you really kind of overhauled the offense from a kind of a much more running based thing to you guys are let's say a little bit more balanced, slinging it around a little bit more. What can you tell us a little bit about the process of taking, moving from a more kind of ground-based attack to what has been working for you guys with a 3,000-yard passer?
No, it is. I can't give enough credit to the kids because, man, we have some really good pieces of that puzzle right now, including a quarterback that is just a cerebral, smart, just really good football player named Landon York. And again, if you'd asked me at the start of the year what our numbers would have looked like, I don't know what I would have put that number at. But yesterday after practice, I was actually propping him because, he's over 3,000 yards. And again, credit to him, credit to that amazing O-line that's protecting that dude. And, we have some really good weapons, on the perimeter. And also can't give enough credit. I get very little credit offensively. I hired the right guy. We had a guy on staff named Rob Londerholm, and, he is absolutely the guy driving that scheme-wise, driving that bus, for the Wall Hawks, and he has, done a tremendous job. Like I said, I couldn't be more pleased with the production they've had. I was super worried going into the year just because, we've been a stay-on-schedule, under center football team, which, very few mistakes. I was just so worried about, bad snaps or quarterback sacks, turnovers, and man, our kids and our coaches, they've just done a killer job. We have played really clean and, again, just love the progress and love where we're at.
You guys obviously are rolling right now the way that you guys are playing. You mentioned Landon York, your QB1, a guy who's over 3,000 yards passing, just a junior as well. The numbers are impressive, but as the guy who gets to see him every day in practice, what is it about Landon York that really sets him apart?
Hey, we kind of thought, Coach Londerholm had actually coached Landon, as the sub-varsity coach, and Landon was always just a real steady kid, and again, there's fiery leaders, there's those steady kind of kids. Landon is just you're rock solid. He is the same every day. You can't really tell, if he just had missed 2 or 3 reads or throws, or if he's made 50 in a row. He is the consistent performer every day. And again, we knew he was going to be really good in that role, and he has absolutely, probably exceeded, where I thought he was going to be in year one. And again, that's credit to him and the coaches. But Landon is a really special human being that's also a really awesome quarterback. So it's and like I said, being a junior, that's added bonus also.
Craig Slaughter, the head coach of the Wall Hawks, joining us here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. Coach, I want to go back to even in the off season, not just when you were taking over, but I want to go back to track season because I know that track and field is also a big part of your success there at Wall, not just on track, but as it is translated to there. How have you seen you guys' success in track kind of translate over to what you guys are doing now in the fall?
Hey, well, like I had the good fortune the past, couple of years of being the head track coach, so these perimeter pieces, that we've watched compete and run, we knew were on the way. We got, I don't want to lie, but I think we either got second or third at the regional track meet. I know we got fifth at the state track meet, so there's some real dudes, here right now, which is obviously awesome, but again, any good football program, Gunner Tigers, Holiday Eagles, whoever, those teams, Brock, those teams that we used to see at the regional track meet, most years, those relays, and especially that mile relay where it's about toughness and, some guts out there, those big time football programs, it's amazing how many of those programs are adopting all those relays, and that's who you're competing with to try to get to Austin, but track definitely, and we do highly encourage, all of our football kids to run, and it's not really that hard to get them to run in wall because, they know it's such a big piece of the winning formula.
You guys are on the defensive side. I know you're a defensive guy at heart, and you guys are traditionally have been very, very good defensively. That is continuing this year. I think it's easy to just look at all the Wall defenses and say, well, they're just good at defense. What is it about this year's team that has you most excited on the defensive side?
One, again, this is my 8th year of running the defense, so like all of these kids absolutely, from the time they were 7th grade, have used our terminology and our, the calls and checks and things that we do, so like as we were talking yesterday at practice, that there'll be some things that Canadian has for us that they have not shown. It's anything goes this time of year, and I'm counting on our kids to see it, adjust to it, communicate the things that we would do. So many of these pieces of the puzzle were good pieces of our puzzle last year. We have great experience. Obviously, like you had mentioned, the program coach Guy had built. In no way was this this is not a rebuild. This was a strong roster. Whoever was going to step into that chair, and those kids are definitely performing up to task.
I do want to ask you a little bit about your game tomorrow in Lubbock. You guys are going to take on Canadian, who in Region 1 requires no introduction at this point.
No doubt.
I don't want to ask you to give away your game plan against the Wildcats, but when you take a look at what you're going to be up against tomorrow night in Lubbock, what do you see? Region
1 has absolutely been ruled by Canadian. Tremendous program, tremendous coaching staff. I know 2 years ago when we knew we were pretty good, but, we didn't really know if we were going to see, be able to get to those guys or not. And we were talking way early in the year, like, man, it would be like personally, I would love to defend those guys just to see what it's like. And I'll be honest, it wasn't that fun of an experience, but it was good for me because there were things like driving home, that night that that's an issue against those guys. And, they are a super tough football team, and they're a proud football team, just if you're going to kill the king, you can't, you don't mess around. You better take that field intending to get the king and move on, because those guys are going to give you nothing. They don't care, who you played or what your record is, and they're an absolute diamond of West Texas small school football program. And, we're going to have to go play clean, play physical, because I know they will.
And finally, Coach, not to date you, you're in your 16th year as a head coach. You've stopped in Hearn, stopped in Clyde, stopped in Sweetwater, and a 5-year bit in Llano. And our producer Ashley Pickle is a Llano grad, and I'm curious.
She is.
I'm curious if you remember Cub reporter Ashley Pickle.
Oh, hey, dude, I was joking with Ashley when she called me. Hey, I take no credit, but Ashley used to interview me after pep rallies, and I remember, I was telling my wife, I could not believe, how good and skilled she was. I really thought, it may be well, hey, tell me about those jackets. She would always ask. A good question. She just her presence was always awesome. And obviously, I was joking with her. Lord, I see her, on my TV when I watch the state championship games, and I see her on my social media. I knew Ashley way back. What a great job and great career she's having.
We're pretty starstruck as well around here, Coach.
No doubt, I understand.
He's Craig Slaughter. He's the head coach of the Wall Hawks. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on all your success, and best of luck tomorrow night.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. There he goes. Craig Slaughter, former Llano head coach.
Tell you what, he was patient with me, man. He was patient with me. Always appreciated that.
Yeah, that's former Llano head coach from 2012 2016. But he's been the defense coordinator there at Wall, and their defense has been out of control. And now he gets the bump up to head coach after Houston Guy retires, and they're rolling. And they really did. I can't stress this enough. They were essentially running like the flex bone out at Wall. And in a year, they went from a team that ran the ball. I had this a minute ago. They went from a team that ran the ball a total of, I can pull this up. This is going great. Last year, they threw for 1,172 yards and 16 touchdowns. Okay, compared to running for 3,776 yards.
It's crazy.
This year, they have a 3,000-yard passer in Landon York. And also, by the way, they still have a 1,000-yard rusher. They're just putting up points. They are different. And the track part of it is huge because they are relay champs. They're in 3A. They're a team to watch. And Canadian... look, they are probably about to go into a situation where in consecutive weeks, if they were to win their games, they would play Canadian, and then they'd play Gunner, and they'd play somebody in a state championship. And you want to talk about the teeth of 3A Division II. It is coming. So we appreciate Craig Slaughter taking a little bit of time to chat with us.